Now starting with chapter 2, role of government in health. Again the revision we are going to start with. Let's see the points to remember. First is health. Now what do you all understand by health? As I have already explained you in the chapter that health doesn't only include your illness, your diseases, but it also includes other factors like good mental health, regular exercise and proper nutrition. So overall if we see, health is a condition which is free from illness and injuries, good mental health, regular exercise, proper nutrition and other multiple facts are included in health. Next is healthcare in India. Now if we talk about healthcare in India, there are multiple negative and positive aspects of healthcare in India. Positive aspects we are going to read in the answer, and negative aspects if I tell you, you can see the condition of slum areas and rural areas where healthcare facilities are not at all provided properly. So generally the people who are living there are facing so many communicable diseases, and they are like in contact with the poor sanitation facilities also. So that's the only reason why they are again and again getting ill. Now if we talk about healthcare in India, private healthcare and public healthcare. Now see, there is a slight difference, or you can say there is a difference between private and public healthcare services. Now what are the differences between private and public healthcare services? See, if we talk about private healthcare services, and the next is public healthcare services. See, what are the differences? If we talk about the differences, see, private healthcare services, large number of doctors have opened their own clinics and hospitals. Large number of doctors or individuals, they have opened their own clinics and hospitals. And in public healthcare services, it is generally run by the government. The other difference is that it is the cost is high. The treatment is very costly. And in this, it is either free of cost or low cost. Either free of cost or low cost. Other difference. Now the next difference, the private healthcare services are increasing day by day. You can see the hospitals, you can see the clinics, they are increasing day by day, and that too in urban areas. And if we talk about public healthcare services, they are constant. They are not increasing. If we compare private healthcare services and public healthcare services, they are not increasing at the same level at which the private healthcare services are increasing. Constant, and generally they are also there in urban areas. They are also in urban areas. So if we see the urban and rural areas, generally in rural areas they are being not provided with adequate healthcare facilities. So this is the difference between private healthcare services and public healthcare services. Now moving towards the next point, that is healthcare and equality. Okay, so the question arises, is adequate healthcare available to all? Just now I have explained you private and public. I have explained you that generally the hospitals and all, no matter it is run by government or it is run by the individuals, they are generally being opened in the urban areas. Okay, so again rural areas are facing the problem. Okay, so if we talk about healthcare and equality, no, there is no equality in providing healthcare services, because all the healthcare services, mostly healthcare services are being provided in the urban areas only. RMPs stands for registered medical practitioners. You just have to remember full form of RMPs, that is registered medical practitioners. Again the next is the Kerala experience and the Costa Rican experience. Now see, you must be wondering what does these terms are there, why these terms are there. See, I have told you healthcare and equality, there are not in rural areas adequate healthcare facilities are not being provided. Okay, so whose responsibility it is to provide adequate healthcare facilities? Government's responsibility. Now let's see what government has done in Kerala and in Costa Rica to provide healthcare services and for the benefit of the people. Let's see what government has done in both the areas, in Kerala and in Costa Rica. Okay, see, in Kerala, if I will tell you, see what was done, 40% of the budget was given to the panchayat. Okay, 40% of their budget was given to the panchayat, so that they can invest that money, they can invest that budget in the healthcare, in providing healthcare services to the people in rural areas, or for providing different amenities for clean drinking water, food. Okay, for such facilities they have provided them 40% of their budget. Okay, if we talk about Kerala, okay, or Costa Rica, see what happened in this, what government did, 40% of the budget was given to panchayats. Okay, given to the panchayat. Now what they did, they used that money in providing clean drinking water, okay, proper food, good sanitation, good sanitation facilities, okay, good sanitation facilities, and in the education for education of girls. Okay, so in these things they use the 40% of the budget that was given to the panchayat. Okay, in these things they use the money. And if we talk about the Costa Rica, in what things they have used, see, they decided to not have an army. They decided to not have an army and again use that money in the healthcare services to people, okay, and their education, their upbringing and all such things. They use their army and they use their money which was being used in the army. So they decided to not have army and invest that money in the healthcare of the people. Okay, so let's see again. We have read about the Kerala experience and the Costa Rican experience, what government has done. Now moving towards the internal question, you can open up your book, everyone. Have a pencil in your hand and mark down the internal questions. Write down the questions very neatly. First question is, what is the full form of PHC? You can open page number 24. Okay, you can find the full form of PHC there. Open page number 24. Okay, on page number 24 the full form of PHC has been given to you. Okay, this here. Okay, you can see the full form here, primary health centers. Okay, next question is, what do you understand by public healthcare system? Okay, I have just now explained you public healthcare system, that is run by the government. Public healthcare system is a system of hospitals and health centers run by the government. For this, open page number 21. Come on page number 21 everyone. Okay, you can find the answer here. It's there in third line. You can see the word public. It's there in bold letters. Okay, so from public till government you can mark the answer. Question number 3. Who are medical tourists? Okay, open page number 20. This difference has been given to you. You can see this pink box in this second last point here. Okay, from medical tourists till India. Okay, you can cut they come. Okay, after like medical tourists come from many countries. After countries they come likha hua hai. Cut down that they come and you can mark till India. Your answer is here. Medical tourists come for treatment in some of the hospitals in India. Okay, so is it clear? Mark the internal questions properly. Now starting with the question and answers. Short answer type questions. First question is, what are RMPs? RMPs are registered medical practitioners. Okay. What are communicable diseases? The diseases that spread from one person to another in many ways, such as water, food, air, etc. are called communicable diseases that spread from one person to another. Question number 3. What are the different ways through which the government can take steps to provide health care for all? Discuss. First step, to establish hospitals and health centers for all citizens, organizing pulse polio campaigns, organizing free camps for checkup, generally in the rural areas, because lack of proper healthcare services are there in the rural areas. Question number 4. Why are poor people more prone to illness? Now, why poor people are more prone to illness? See, because of the sanitation facilities, the areas in which they are living, those areas are not clean. Proper drinking water they are not getting, adequate diet they are not getting, and that's the reason they are more prone to illness. Poor people are more prone to illness because they are deprived of basic necessities like drinking water, adequate housing, clean surroundings, adequate diet, etc. So, because of these reasons they are more prone to illness. Question number 5. Discuss 2 positive aspects of healthcare in India. Okay, in the starting and points to remember, I have told you when we were reading about healthcare in India, see, positive aspects are also there and negative aspects are also there. Negative aspects, just now we have read in this answer. Okay, these conditions which are faced by the people in rural areas, they are more prone to illness. These are the negative aspects. And if we talk about the positive aspects of healthcare in India, see, positive aspects of healthcare in India are a number of medical tourists visit India for their treatment. India is the 4th largest producer of medicines in the world. Okay, not only these 2 aspects, even many more positive aspects of healthcare in India are there, like large number of medical colleges are there and so many doctors get graduated, get passed from India. Okay. Question number 6. How has Kerala improved upon the healthcare facilities to be provided to its people? I have just now told you about the difference, Kerala and Costa Rica. Okay, what Kerala government did? They provided 40% of their budget. Now, let us read the answer. The Kerala government made some major changes. 40% of the entire state budget was given to panchayats. Health centers, women's development and education were also improved. Okay, I have told you in what things they have invested the 40% of their amount. Now, long answer type question. Improvement in water and sanitation can control many diseases. Explain. Okay, see, if we talk about improvement in water and sanitation, okay, that plays a major role. Okay, if we will drink unclean water or unhygienic water, yeah, or if we live in the unhygienic condition, that will automatically affect our health. Okay, that will automatically affect our health and we will be not healthy. See, generally, let me explain you. See, when we talk about rural areas, okay, or slum areas, okay, rural areas or slum areas. Now, two factors are there. When the government is aware, okay, and when the government is unaware. Okay, two conditions will be there. Maybe the government is aware, maybe the government is not aware. Now, what are the factors? See, when the government is aware, clean drinking water, okay, adequate diet, good sanitation facility, one minute, see, facility. Okay, so these factors are there. If the government is aware, clean drinking water will be available to people, adequate diet will be available to people, government must be aware of the things what they are eating and what kind of food they are eating, good sanitation facilities, okay, and even proper health care services, okay, proper health care services, okay. And when the government is unaware, now what are the factors? See, same, unclean water, okay, people must be undernourished, okay, malnutrition, okay, they must be undernourished, and no healthcare services, okay, and poor hygiene, poor hygienic conditions or surroundings, you can say. Okay, poor hygienic surroundings, okay, like poor sanitation surroundings, okay. So these are the factors. If the government is aware this, if the government is not is unaware, these factors. See, now these are all interconnected. See, when the government is aware, the people will be healthy, okay, the people will be healthy, and when the government is not aware, the people will be unhealthy, okay. So basically in all it depends on the government, said like what kind of conditions will be there in rural and slum areas. Now let's read the answer. Answer number 7. Both water and sanitation are parts of basic necessities. If water and sanitation are of poor quality, this will lead to poor health. Diseases like malaria, diarrhea, jaundice are waterborne diseases caused due to contaminated water, and diseases like plague, fever, etc. are caused due to unhygienic sanitary conditions when the surroundings are not clean. Thus, improvement in water and sanitation will surely control many diseases, thereby increasing standard of living and good health, okay. So if better living conditions and good sanitation conditions will be there, then of course people not have to invest money in their medical expenses, okay, they will be healthy, and when people will be healthy, automatically it will lead to increased standard of living and good health. So children, this is all. I hope you all understood the points or remember of both the chapters, chapter 1 and chapter 2. Please read it once again, read the question and answers once again. Thank you.